Welcome everybody to Calendar Anything monthly office hours. This is our October edition of our office hours. I am joined by Lena Sin, our Director of Product, and I am Janelle Bromberg, Director of App Exchange Sales and Alliances. And we hold these monthly, the second Thursday of every month, so please make sure you join us. Today on our agenda, one, it was great to see so many of you current clients at two events. We both saw folks out at Dreamforce in California and San Francisco, and we also met some folks out at Florida Dreamin' last week. We were lucky enough to be able to hold our Florida Dreamin' conference out in Clearwater. So our thoughts and prayers are with everybody that are in Florida right now being affected by the hurricane. But it was so great to see everyone out in California and Florida. Of course, we are always out and about at events. Lena will be at Lena will be at New York World Tour in November, and I will be at the Atlanta World Tour in December. So please, if you're in those cities, come out and say hello to us. Today on our agenda, we have a few things. One of the big things that we released during our week out at Dreamforce was the fact that we now have a new view called Kanban View. A lot of folks are familiar with Kanban View, great for resource allocation and project management. And Lena is going to take us through an overview of that Kanban View. And also, if you want to test the latest release, you can install version 1.116. It's available on the App Exchange. And please, of course, encourage you to do so. Play around with Kanban if you have any suggestions. Of course, we are always open. That is a new view, so we'd love to hear your feedback. And then we'll also roll over to Lena for an admin corner to talk about how we can embed a dynamic calendar on a record page, and also how you can update parameters for a custom view. So you can hide sidebar, or you can make sure everybody in your organization has the exact same settings globally. I do want to start before I get into our Kanban view with a great question that came in. One of the questions is, they have a request from their team to be able to share Calendar Anything publicly without being able to use Salesforce licenses. They don't want access to the org, but they want to be able to share a public-facing calendar. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Lena to talk a little bit about a force.com site and how that might work, and also the limitations for security. So Lena?
Thank you, Janelle, and hello, everyone. Welcome to our October office hours. So let's get to the force.com question. So yes, it is possible to share Calendar Anything calendars with unauthenticated users via force.com site. We do have a knowledge article on our help site with steps on how to set it up. Also, please open a case with our support team. They'll walk you through it and help you set up the force.com site. So essentially what it does, it will expose your Salesforce data to the external users in the read-only format. So they'll be able to read the information from your org, but will not be able to edit, delete, or create new records. So that's a great way to share your calendars with users outside of your Salesforce. You can also embed the force.com site in your website. You can include a link to force.com site in your emails or any other materials that you might need. There's also a way to dynamically change the URL. So let's say for one set of users or contacts outside of Salesforce, you need to show, let's say, task calendar versus another set that will need access to your opportunities or events. So that's all doable with Calendar Anything. Again, please submit a case and our support team will work with you and help you set it up.
And I will add one other thing to what Lena is saying. You do need a license for the site guest user. So if you're at full capacity using all your licenses, you will need to purchase one additional license to be able to visualize that on a force.com site. So I believe each site, Lena, correct, needs its own site guest user.
Correct.
Awesome. Perfect. Great. Hopefully that answered your questions. Like Lena said, if you have any other questions or you want to help us set that up for you, please submit a case at calendaranything.com. So Lena, I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen and let you go ahead and share your screen so we can see Kanban view.
Great. Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and turn off our video. I'm pretty sure Lena will do this as well to help with hand.
All right. Let me know if you can see my screen.
I can see it.
Perfect. All right. So this is the freshly leased Kanban view. We're still working on making some additional enhancements and adding new features and functionality to it. Our latest version, 1.116, has Kanban view included. So if you're interested in testing it, please upgrade or install our latest version where you can find the Kanban view. So Kanban view is included in our mode selector, so it would be the last option on the list. So let's review what options and configuration abilities we have for this view. So this view is a little bit different from our other views. At a glance, you can see that we're not showing dates yet. So for this particular demo, we're going to be using a case calendar. So we have a bunch of cases that came in, and we want to, as a team manager, for example, I want to see how my support team is managing their caseload. So in this Kanban view, we're showing all cases that have been submitted within the month of October. We are grouping them by who owns the case. That's our grouping rows. And our grouping columns is the status. So all the statuses that we have for cases are represented by a column. So a couple of ways how we can group our Kanban view. So Kanban will support all grouping options that are available for our swim lane and Davis grouping views. So here, if I expand, you can see I'm currently using a field. I can do a custom grouping option here. I can also use public groups, queues, and user list views. The same thing for columns. So I can also set my grouping duration. So in this case, I'm viewing all cases that have been submitted within 1 day. I can expand that to say 1 month. You'll see that I now have more options here. We are using our conditional coloring here. So at a glance, I can see that these 2 cases came in with high priority. So I can prioritize them, maybe reassign to a more qualified support manager or engineer to handle. So again, CalendarAnything, multi-level conditional coloring here. So if I need to reassign, let's say, case from one user to another, let's say Helen has too much on her plate, I want to reassign this case to Norman, all I have to do is just drag and drop. You'll see that we added this confirmation message here. I'm going to click OK, and you'll see that this case has been reassigned to Norman now. The same thing with the status. Let's say I know Helen is starting to work on this case here. I can move this into her in progress queue, as well as I can move this one to ready for review. Again, we are showing the confirmation message here. Okay, so let's say if I want to split or group this data even more, we have several options here. So you'll see that currently no dates grouping is selected. Let's say I want to group this by date. Once I select this option, you'll see that I have another option that I need to select, which is my interval. So I want to say I'm viewing this for 1 month. I want to see it on a daily basis. So what this gives me now is a day grouping. So I can see by day for this month when cases are coming in and who they are assigned to. So this is another great way to see all the cases coming in at a glance, who they are assigned to, the date that they were submitted. I can also split this and say I want to group this by value first. So what this gives me now, it's a little bit of a reverse view. So now I'm looking at Helen first, and I can see that, you know, on which dates I had her cases coming in. The same thing for Mary and my other user, Norman. We also have a display setting. Let's say I don't want to see all these empty rows here. I can simply go here and select hide empty groupings. And this will give me just the dates on which the cases came in. So another way how you can streamline case management here. We have a 1 week interval. So let's say if I'm viewing this by 3 months, I can do this by a week now. So it will give me a weekly breakdown, as well as 1 month, which will give me a monthly breakdown here. So let me reset this back to, let's say, 1 day. And here we have, as you can see, we have several options on how we're sorting the records. So this will determine how this is sorted within the grouping. So right now we're doing by date, by title. So things that came in first and then by title in alphabetical order. But like for let's say our Gantt view, we have many different sorting options. So if you want to do by date, calendar and title, you can do that. By date, calendar sorting field and title, you can do that. So many different options on how this data can be presented. So this is a high level overview. This is really easy and quick to set up. One other thing that I want to highlight in this particular case, for the case calendar, you'll see our statuses go in this logical progression of things. We can also change that with the pick list sorting. So if you're using a pick list for your grouping column or row, you can either do it in alphabetical order, like I just unchecked this and you can see that now it's showing my columns in alphabetical order. Let me actually uncheck hide empty sorting. So you can see I have all of my columns here in alphabetical order versus in the logical order, like we have set up at the object level. So again, this is another way on how you can view your data. Janelle, anything else you feel like I'm missing here?
No, I think that was a great overview. Again, as I mentioned before, if you're interested in testing this, we encourage you to do so in a sandbox. Version 1.116 is now available on the App Exchange, so you can go ahead and start testing Kanban. And of course, if you have any questions or you're not quite sure how to set it up, please feel free to submit a case at calendaranything.com. Lena, next up is your admin corner. So we want to talk a little bit about how we can embed a dynamic calendar on a record page, and also a little bit about parameters on that custom view.
Yes, absolutely. Let me share my other screen. All right. So talking about embedding calendars on the record page. So here, this is our standard out of the box calendar anything page. I have a whole bunch of calendars here. I'm going to enable my opportunities calendar in the Gantt view. So as you can see, I have a lot of opportunities going on for the next 3 months. They all grouped by opportunity owner and account. So this gives me a really nice high level view of everything that my sales team is working on. But let's say, for example, I want to zoom in and focus on a particular account. What I can do here, and we have embedded CalendarAnything on the Huli account record page. So what it does is when I open my account record page and switch to calendar tab, this will use the same opportunity calendar, but it will filter out using the dynamic filter account ID and only show me records where opportunities are related to this account. So I can easily see everything that's going on just for this account. All the same features and functionality will apply here. I can also overlay this with another calendar, let's say my task calendar, and in this case, it will show me tasks only related to the Huli account. So how do we set it up? CalendarAnything is a Lightning Web component, which means that it can be added to any page, any Lightning page, any community page by simply dragging, and dropping your component into the record page. So here we created a custom tab called calendar. This is our component here. You can find it in the list of custom managed component. It would be CalendarAnything performance component here. So once you drag this onto the record page, you'll see that we have a variety of different component properties. And what this allows you to do is to manipulate the look and feel of this component. So let's say I don't want to show mode selector. I want users, when they go on to the account page and look at the calendar, only see it in the Gantt view. And you can specify the default view mode here. We're giving you all the options that we have currently supporting. You can specify which calendars you want to see. Let's say, like you saw in my previous step here, I have a whole list of calendars that I have added to my navigation panel. I only want to see opportunities and tasks on my record page. So you can define which calendars you want to be able to see on this page. You can specify which calendars should be automatically turned on. Which calendars should be available to create new records or edit from this particular page. So this is all configured via component properties. In this dynamic filter field, you're specify which field from the record you want to use as your dynamic filter. So as I mentioned before, we're using account ID as our dynamic filter. Both tasks and opportunities have a related to field. So we're going to use the related to ID and pass that to the calendar to filter out the data. We have a whole list of component properties here. They're all pretty much self-explanatory. I want to focus a little bit here on our additional user settings and URL parameters here. So in the additional user settings, I can control how my sidebar looks. So here I'm saying I don't want to see filter sets and filter panels. I don't want to see these guys here on my page. So I don't want to see filter sets. So I can hide them using my additional user settings here. And we have a list of everything that's being supported in the additional user settings in our help documentation, as well as URL parameters. So you'll see here that my sidebar is collapsed. So in the sake of saving space, I don't want to see my full navigation panel. I want to see it collapsed. So this is controlled within URL parameters. And just like for additional user settings, we have a whole list of URL parameters that you can use to specify how you want your page to look. We also have something we call CA read-only settings. So this controls whether or not from this page users are able to, let's say, edit the calendar, what options potentially they have on the context menu, so that right mouse click when they click into the record. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a minute. So here we're saying context calendar false and no ICS download for the record. So I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to navigate back to the calendar page. So although I'm an system admin in this org and I have access to edit all of the calendars that have been created, if I right mouse click here, you see nothing is happening. That's because we disabled that option for this page. So from this page, you cannot edit or modify any of the calendars. Also on the record itself, you see now you have some options here as in the context menu, but the download as ICS option is missing because we disabled that with our component properties. So this gives you a lot of flexibility on how you can set up this page at the global level. All users will have the same look and feel to the calendar, the same user display settings. So this doesn't clash with what they have set up on their out of the box page. Whatever is set up on the embedded calendar only applicable to this specific page. So you have full control as an admin how user interact with your calendar on this specific calendar page. I know it's a lot of technical information. We do have knowledge articles on how to set it up, the full list of component properties and URL parameters. And as always, our support team is ready to help you with any questions that you might have.
Amazing overview, Lena. Thank you so much. I will remind everyone, we post these demos and our monthly office hours to our YouTube page. So if you ever want to reference these again, yes, you of course you get it in your email, but say you lose your email and you don't have access to that email that we sent you anymore, please feel free to go to our YouTube page. It is youtube.com/calendaranything. And you can view all of our monthly office hours, and you can also, we take small clips of these that Lena are doing, and we make them their own videos. So please use our knowledge base in our videos for you, for your help. And then of course, like Lena said, please submit a case. We are here to help you. So that is it for this edition of monthly office hours, but I do want to pause. Do we have any more questions from the folks that are on the call that would like for us to answer? Happy to take some time for open questions. Going once, going twice. All right.
One more thing, Janelle, I want to add. If you have any questions or topics that you want us to cover in our future office hours, please let us know. You can email us at calendaranything.com. You can submit a case with your suggestions. We would love to demo and talk about things that are important to you. So yes, please let us know what you would like to see in the future office hours that we hold.
Yep. Another way to submit a case too. You can submit a case on our website, calendaranything.com, or you can email us calendaranything@silverlinecrm.com, and that will submit a case as well, emailed a case. So we look forward to see you guys next month. If you have any questions, of course, submit a case, and be on the lookout for this recording on YouTube. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.